People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube. People are elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. And my soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, could be located at people.etsy.com. And my t-shirt designs, purplebutterfly-people.tmail.com. And what I am doing is testing the white balance on this phone, because I just found out where the manual controls are. So if that works out, then I'll be able to film something in this room without it being too dark. Also, there's a stabilizer, so I figured try that out, and a contrast thing, something called weighted. I don't know what that means. I just push all the buttons. Anyway, I figure do basically a level check of all the rooms. This is where I would normally cut soaps. So yeah, that might work out well. And those are the soaps that I have at the moment. So if I was sitting where I normally cut soaps, that's not too bad. Also, here I have ground orange rinds, and over here I have virgin olive oil. That's not going to be used today. I have Spectrum, which is palm oil. I have lard. I need to get more canola oil and more coconut oil, which also won't be used today, and safflower rather, which I like so much, won't be used today because, well, let's get you close to the camera so you can see this. You see that? It says infused with virgin olive oil. And one of the people I make soap for is allergic to olives. One of the people I make soap for is allergic to coconut. So those are two ingredients I won't use for their soap, which is why I use lard. I could also use tallow in place of lard, but not really a fan of tallow. People think lard has a funny smell, and when you soap with it, once it's past the ponification, there's no smell. It beautifully enhances or takes in any scent that you put in it. Tallow, not so much. There's always that telltale scent of beef. Most people ignore it or they don't notice it, but I have a really sensitive nose, and it's like I can always tell it's in something. In the meantime, I broke down and went and got my nails professionally done because they were starting to hurt when I went like this, or they would flat out bleed, because my bones are a little bit weaker and my nails and the skin is a lot thinner. I don't know if that's because of the chemo, or the hydroxyurea rather, or because my platelets were off this month, but just so I don't have any bleeding issues, that's the minimum thing I could do to protect myself. I also stopped wearing my adhesive on my teeth, so that way if there's going to be a bleed, I could pop my teeth out. Yeah, too much information, right? Y'all know me, I'm random that way. Anyway, this color is called Otherwise Engaged by OPI. It is a very pale pink. I'm wearing pink, but I adjusted the contrast on this phone, trying to be able to film in the really bright room that shows up dark on camera. And yeah, there we go. For some odd reason, when I'm by that lamp over there, my t-shirt looks yellow, over here it looks pink, and now you can see the true color of this nail polish. But in my room, which is pastel yellow, pastel pink, it was looking kind of a dingy yellow in that room whenever I filmed. Yellow and dark. In the kitchen, it looks yellow and dark, which is amazing because this is a really bright room. Okay, let me show you. I mean, there's sunlight, you know. And that's my original curtain, too. You know, it's like between the two and then the pink walls. Every time I took a video, look back a few videos, you'll see it was just really, really dark. Which I don't understand because in that room there's 2 lamps and 2 windows. The sun shines in there and it's bright. So, you know, that's a thing to do with tonal values and all that. And someone said just get an LED light for your camera. I even spotted one under $40. You can afford under $40. These days I am lucky if I can afford under $4. I make jokes, but I'm not kidding, even a little bit. Also, I figure go for my certification. I'd done that once before, but I found out certifications, anything above basic level, tend to expire after a year. I didn't know that at the time that I did it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get my membership back for the Soap Guild. Then certify for basic, which means I will always have a permanent, non-expiring certificate of soap making. And then I could get another certificate for the different levels because I'm proficient in melt and pour. I started out as melt and pour. I'm proficient in CP. I'm proficient in HP. And I'm about to learn how to do liquid soap making. I'm proficient in theory, but there are certain things that you have to do to certify, and that's going to be one of my next steps because I'm going on my 4th year of soap making. Might actually be 5, and you can only be basic for 5 years. So by the time I get to my 10th year, might as well have all those other certifications in place. That can only help my soaping. You know, everybody knows I make soap. Everybody loves my soap. But if I could say, hey, you know, I'm certified in soap making on top of it, then people will really want my soaps and they'll really buy my soaps even more. So, oh yeah. I'm sorry, things still catch my attention. I just noticed we still have the Christmas snow on the windows. I'm not kidding. Hold on, let's show you this. I don't know if you can actually see that, but yeah. There's a little peephole for when I want to see outside. And I kind of forgot that was there. I mean, it's just past winter time. And we put it there kind of as a privacy screen in the other bedrooms, but in the living room it was just there because it was Christmas time and it was fun to look at. So I might just go ahead and wash that window because the curtains have enough coverage. I also got some in the kitchen, but that's fine because I use that window a lot. I open it up so I would get sun coming in, but I don't necessarily want to see people looking in. So I figure if I can't see out, they can't see in. Got my hair not slicked down. Basically, I just put some conditioner on it and then put it in a ponytail. I figure if I wore a wig, it's flat enough like this, where I could just put the wig over it, or I could just leave the ponytail puffed out. I don't know yet. But in the meantime, I put it in the ponytail not having anything to do with the wig. it's time to make soap. And I figure when I put my bonnet on and the goggles on and the mask on, I don't want, to worry about my hair getting in the way, because sometimes it sneaks from under that bonnet. So if it's anchored with a, ponytail holder, then the only thing that's visible would be the bonnet, the goggles, the mask, and of course I'll have on gloves. I don't have on long sleeves yet, but I will. And of course I have on shoes. They're fluffy shoes, but they're still shoes. Never, ever, ever soap without shoes. You can get away with no socks, but you gotta have on shoes. That way, if you spill soap on the floor or a splash or whatever, you don't have to worry about it eating your feet. Because a lot of times when there's a spill, people are trying to get the spill up. They're not really thinking, hey, some of that splashed on my leg or some of that splashed on my feet. So that's one thing you can do to protect yourself, because I've looked at my videos. My very first one, I splashed raw soap right in my eye because I took the goggles off. That will never happen again. So, I always have on my goggles, even when I have on my gloves. Glasses. I still got aphasia, so bear with me. I wear the mask whenever I'm stirring the lye water or mixing it up. You can take the mask off after, it turns clear and the fumes go away. But, those are basic protections. I always have on the gloves and a spare pair of gloves just in case. And I've actually had to change gloves in the middle of soaping on more than one occasion because a glove failed. The quickest way to test to see if your gloves are good, run some water, get a bucket, put your hand in, bring it out, and then look at your gloves. If you see water anywhere, new pair. Just simple as that. Or if you're in the middle of something and it failed the glove test, go ahead and put a new pair on top of that, so that way if it didn't get in the first place, you don't have to worry about it getting in the second place. So, only thing left to do after that, other than wear an apron and, something with sleeves, make sure your feet are covered. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. This has been Peepla7 on Twitter and YouTube, Peepla elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located purplebutterfly-peepla.blogspot.com. My soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at peepla.etsy.com, and my t-shirt designs, purplebutterfly-peepla.tmail.com. Mom is almost finished with her lunch. I'm finna eat my lunch, because you don't soap on an empty stomach either, because then you're distracted about the growling stomach. So I'm going to go do that, and then let there be soap.